Anna Haas, and I'm the Vice President of Agent Success for Sold.com. Today, we're going to talk about best practices around our cash offer referrals. First, I wanted to take a step back and just talk about the type of ads that we run so you can understand how and why you're getting these cash offer referrals. So during the onboard, we talk about how the two most common type of ads that we run are get a free home valuation and get a cash offer on your property. Remember, Sold.com targets potential sellers. And so our biggest goal is getting in front of the best target audience that has the potential to potentially sell their home. And so that's all marketing is, right? Marketing is making sure that as you're running your different ads, as you're talking to different consumers, that you're talking to the person who is the most probable in reaching your target goal, which in our case is selling their property. What we find is almost 80% of the people that we set up an appointment with will eventually go on to list their property in the MLS with an agent. So that tells us that the type of ads that we're running are to the right target audience, but they may be at different points of the funnel as you're talking to them. In some cases, you're talking to them at the very early exploration stage. In other cases, they're hiding behind a wall where they don't necessarily want to admit the fact that they're ready to list and sell their property. In other cases, they really may just be just curious. So our goal is learning about and getting you in front of the most amount of consumers so that you have a high potential to have more conversations, which more conversations lead to more conversions and more listings. So let's talk about what happens operationally. So when a consumer comes to our site and requests a free home valuation, what happens is they request the information and they get connected with Concierge. And so one quick correction is when they request a cash offer. When they get connected with our Concierge, this is a snippet of the introductory script that our Concierge has with that consumer. So walking through it is, hi, my name is Joe with Sold.com. You had requested a cash offer on our site. If you don't mind me asking, what had you interested in getting a cash offer on your home? Now here we're hearing a couple different answers, right? Sometimes we're hearing just curious. Other times we're hearing people say, I want to sell my home quickly, or I'm afraid of real estate agent fees, or I don't want to hire a real estate agent. A lot of times they're just telling us generally, again, why they requested the cash offer approach initially. Even if somebody says they're just curious, that's not somebody that we're just tossing away, knowing that 80% of the people that we're communicating with are inevitably going off to sell their home. Sometimes that really is just the wall that they're hiding on or objection they're hiding behind to not make somebody push them faster than they're ready. So how the Concierge proceeds is cash offers can be a great option for many people. Our goal is to educate our clients so that they can make the best decision based upon their goals. How cash offer companies make money is by typically buying the house for less and reselling it for more. And a lot of times we'll actually talk through how when you buy a car or sell a car, it's a very similar approach. What happens when you sell your car to a dealership? They buy it for less in order to resell it for more. That is an example and an analogy that resonates really well with consumers and allows them to attach how this is all working. The value is what I'd like to do is schedule a time to have a local agent come to your home to complete a free consultation that's going to include a home valuation to talk through what they think your house could sell for if you went more of a traditional route. They also want to make sure that you know what your house could sell for traditionally so that if you are going to be exploring cash offers, you can be educated into making the best decision for you, because you don't want to find out later that you could have sold the home for more money down the road. In a lot of cases, we find that people could sell their home for $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 more if they would have went traditional. So our goal is just empower you with information so you can make an informed decision. What time and date would work for us to have that agent come out to your property? Now we've set up that appointment, and now that is when we now pass these off via text message, and you have the ability to claim those appointments based upon your rank. If you are somebody who's not seeing referral opportunities, please check out our YouTube video about rank so you can understand how that plays a part in the type of volume that you will see from us. So that is how our concierge is speaking to them. I think it's important for you guys to understand the expectations that our team is setting up, that this is not a listing appointment, right? Everything you're seeing here in this script is saying this is a consultation, super value driven, to help the consumer understand what it is they can learn about so they can make an informed decision. Now, when you get out to the property, it all is now leading up to and making sure that you connect the dots to what the concierge set the expectation for, and now what you're knocking on the door in order to do, right? So this is an initial approach that we've taken from one of our top converting agents, which is when you get to the client's home, knock on the door and say, hi, my name is Sam. I'm the Sold.com preferred agent, and they scheduled this time for me to complete the free home valuation with you. If you don't mind, I'd love to start by walking the property with you to make sure I didn't miss anything as part of my value. This is a great way to make sure that you're not just handing them a piece of paper, right? They want to feel that you've invested in their property, and also people feel as though their house could be worth than what your computer just spits out. Sometimes the valuation or what you do in walking around their home does absolutely nothing, but is a little bit more of an opportunity for you to build relationship, build rapport with them, learn a little bit more about their property. Then it's sitting down with them, right? So this is an approach that I actually recommend no matter what. Realistically, if you've watched any of our other best practice videos, you've seen that this is the same messaging that I reiterate every single time. This part of this video is no different than a best practice video for cash offers, to home valuations, to anything else that we send your way. This is a best practice approach that really is just the lead-in that you may edit. So now that you've walked the home with them, you're at this point of learning about what their goals are. So many of clients, no matter what they requested, home valuation or cash offer, are still in the discovery phase of their journey. They're looking to understand what somebody would pay for their property. Cash offer ads are our highest converting ad type, but again, it still is making sure that you understand what their goals are, but then also understanding that they still may be just curious, and just curious answer doesn't necessarily mean that they are just curious. It might just mean that that's the wall of defense that they're putting up. It also might just mean they're not quite ready yet. So learning that rapport and talking through at that beginning stages of let's walk your home allows for you to subtly talk about their property, compliment them, but also build a relationship with them. So when you're walking that home with them based on that initial approach, you should be, again, building rapport. Great, what a beautiful home, complimenting their decor, complimenting something about the floor plan. Even if it's a home that's a little bit harder to find compliments for, there's always something, right? Investor's dream. Now, also drop different sales approaches, different things that might be areas that are highlighting that their home could be desirable. Wow, what a great backyard. We have so many buyers that are looking for backyards with a great view or lots of trees. This allows for you to get the consumer to react. Are they reacting at all? Are they nodding their head? Are they having any sort of a physical reaction to what you're saying? Or are they verbally reacting and saying, oh, wow, that's interesting, asking questions about what you're saying as it relates to something about their home could be attractive to buyers? Or are they biting back at you? And what I mean by biting back, are they saying, well, I'm not looking to sell my home, I'm just curious about what's going on, right? That is their warning sign to say, pull back. Again, does that mean that they're never going to go off and sell their home? No, it just means that you're pushing them a little bit too much. And so you have to find that happy medium. And so if you push too hard, you risk scaring them away, no matter what type of lead that this is. So now you've walked the home with them, you've done your different tests of what I call fishing, of dropping different hints that there might be some desirability about purchasing a home of what they have. And now you're sitting down with them and walking through the valuation. Remember that they did inquire about a cash offer. And so as they're talking to you, they may be confused. Wait a second, I thought you were going to bring me a cash offer. Does that mean you completely retreat and say, oh, shoot, no, sorry, Sold.com screwed this one up? No, you have to reiterate and maybe resell the value and the purpose of why you're there. Talk through, hey, so sorry about the confusion. Sold.com sets me up to come out here because they want me to talk through what I think your house is worth, so that as you continue exploring cash offers, you can make sure you never leave money on the table. Because a lot of times how cash offer companies work is they buy your home for less, and then they have to resell your house for higher, and that's how they make money. Give them the comparison of that car dealership. Remember how car dealerships work. Sold.com may have also talked to you about that. But as much as we would like all of these clients to be a lay down in an instant, I want to hire you, a lot of these cases, there is going to be building your value and reselling them on the expectations that sold.com originally got them to agree to. Now you're going to talk after you've built relationship, after you've talked to them about their home value. Now it goes into, if you don't mind me asking, what made you interested in getting a valuation on your home or a cash offer on your property? They're going to give you that answer. And hopefully, if you've built that relationship with them, their wall has come down. And the benefit of having their wall comes down is you're going to get a lot more of an honest answer to these questions, right? So maybe they really do tell you, well, we've been thinking about selling our house and we've just been really nervous about fees. We've been wanting to sell our house, but we need to do it quickly. My spouse got a new job. And now you can come in and talk about the value of how you're still just as good as this cash offer company that they think they want to go with, right? Every one of us as consumers want to look at the different options that we have available to us. Sometimes we dive in deeper into one option and it's not as good as what it looked like on the surface. But we, as consumers, want to know the difference between two things that are being offered to us that accomplish the same goal. It is your job to then build that value and help them understand why working with you specifically, not real estate agents as a whole, but why you specifically is a good decision for them, not only based on the fact that they can likely make more money off of going with you as an agent versus a cash offer, but also separating yourself from every other agent that they may have worked with in the past. Based off of their answer, you can ask them, like, so was, home selling on your radar for the future? And at that point, if they say yes, great. Now that's this time the meeting is turning into a listing appointment. If they say no, or they bite back again with that just curious, you need to pull back and that they are not ready to admit it yet, or they really may fall into that small grouping of people who truly was just curious. I know it sounds crazy, but you have to really understand and decipher the two. And a lot of times, if you cannot decipher the two, guess what? You're treating it like an interested client who is eventually going to go off and sell their property. So that is where you want to be able to continue working with that client and making sure you set them up for success on your different follow-up strategies. So what if you hear that the client isn't looking to sell, or at that point, they tell you that they were only looking for a cash offer? This is where it comes back into making sure that you're a one-stop shop to consumers, right? Although you are a traditional real estate agent, what we have started to work with and hear more about is what I've heard is referred to as a super agent. You're somebody who has a toolbox full of everything that any other company can offer, right? You don't want to be the place that just solely can offer hamburgers, because what happens if somebody's a vegetarian, if somebody doesn't want hamburgers, doesn't like hamburgers, you can't offer them anything. Very few businesses are successful by offering one service. And so what this allows for you to do, though, is if you can have a lot of different partnerships under your belt, is if this client is for whatever reason completely hard set on a cash offer approach, be able to offer it to them. There are lots of different cash offer companies that have learned it's strategic to partner with agents, and you should feel the same, right? I've listed a couple here. These are more nationwide companies, but depending upon where you live, there may be smaller companies that you want to ask about or reach out to other agents. This could also be a great thing to post in our Facebook group based upon where you live, asking for references of other cash offer companies that agents in your areas possibly partner with. But how great would it be is if this, again, client is just hard set on a cash offer, for you to say, hey, no problem. If that's a route you prefer to go, I do have a partnership with a cash offer company. Let me work with them and work up an offer now that I've seen your home and get that over to you. And now, based off of that company's operational flow, submit the information and get that cash offer to your client. It's not like you're just handing the client over for free. These cash offer companies traditionally give you some sort of either a referral fee or commission split. So you've just went from either losing the business because they're hard set on a cash offer and walking away saying, great, good luck, and not getting anything out of it, to earning still some level of commission from something that you would have walked away with zero on. So it really is a great way to make sure that you guys are exploring all the options available to you and ensuring that your service toolbox is full in what you can offer your clients. So definitely something that you guys should look into if you haven't done so already. Now let's take a step back. Let's say that you arrive at the appointment, and even before you've started the appointment, they've already told you that they thought you were going to be providing them with a cash offer. What a bummer, right? You're there, you're excited, you've taken all the best practices, and they're not even letting you in the door. And so it's easy to turn around and say, wow, sold.com, you sent me a bad lead. This guy was only looking for a cash offer. A couple things to remember is when we set up an appointment, there is always at least a 2-day lag from the time that the appointment is set to the time in which you're meeting with them. That is always the time in which we give ourselves to make sure that we find the best agent to take the appointment. So in some cases, this client hasn't spoken to somebody for 2 days. They may have forgotten what sold.com talked to them about. They may have forgotten about the value propositions and why they should be working with you. Again, as much as we would love a lay down appointment for you guys to walk into a home and somebody be welcome you with opening arms, that may not always be the case. In all honesty, it's probably not going to be the case every single time. And so this is where you want to be prepared. Is it easy to hear them say, I thought you were bringing me a cash offer, that's what sold.com told me, and you just say, sorry for the confusion and walk away? Sure. But isn't it better to take a second approach of, I'm so sorry for the confusion. I am one of sold.com's preferred agents in the area. And normally what they're setting up is for me to come out and talk through what I think your house could sell for if you went more of a traditional route versus a cash offer. Knowing that cash offer companies typically make lower offers because how they make their money is buying low and reselling high. My goal and our goal as a partner of sold.com is to make sure you're not leaving any money on the table. If you don't mind me asking, what had you looking at a cash offer specifically versus more of a traditional route, right? Resell your expectations, restart the flow. At that time, you very well still may hear, nope, we only want a cash offer, leave my house. But you're in a no different position than when you started. So it doesn't hurt you to at least push back and ask if you can go still into the house, right? Try to restart that. If they tell you, I've been looking for a cash offer because I want to sell the house quick, now go into the value propositions and service offerings of why you can do that. And again, if you've filled your service toolbox, if they really are hard set on that cash offer, guess what? You can pull it out of your back pocket and say, no problem, I can offer that to you as well. Let's talk about that, right? But imagine if you guys can push further and not just walk away. This is all about introductions to more conversations. So don't just take the easy path of walking away if you do get that first objection. Offer what you've done, right? I have the valuation ready for you. If you have a couple of minutes, I would love to review it with you. No cost, no pressure. My goal is just to educate my clients so they don't find out later that they could have sold their house for more. At that point, you're offering what your business opportunity is and letting them know that you are here to help them. And in a lot of cases, that allows for them to say and have a little bit of empathy and understand, hey, you've already come this far, let's do it. Remember, when you win, we win. So follow-up is key. No matter what happens with these clients, make sure that you stay in contact with them. That is the biggest gap in every salesperson's business, is just making sure you have the right follow-up in place. Don't buy the line of, I'll call you if we decide to do something. Don't buy the line if I'm just curious. Treat every single client exactly the same and maintain that follow-up. Keep in the back of your head that 78% of these people are going to go off and hire an agent. And so it's now a matter of staying relevant with them and making sure that you have proven enough value for them to where they want to keep you in the back of their mind, but also that you're staying in touch with them and staying up to date with them. Don't get caught up in follow-up that is just, I'm just checking in, brings no value. Follow up with people with value. Hey, I just saw there was a price reduction of this house. Hey, I just saw this person sold their home for X amount of dollars. Bring value to when you're checking in with them, but then also keep them on your standard CRM just so that your branding is always in play. If you have additional questions, our team is always here to help you. We are a success-based company. And so at the end of the day, the more successful you are, the more successful we are as a business. So if you have questions at any time, don't hesitate to reach out to our team at agentnetwork@sold.com or by calling 844-973-7653. Thank you again so much for your time. I hope you enjoy checking out our videos and check out our other videos on YouTube to continue all of your success with best practices.